Hey everyone, happy Monday. It's me, Paul Wontorek, in the comfort of my home, and I'm joined by
Beth Stevens in the comfort of my dining room.
I love that map. I love seeing that map every day, Beth. And who else is here? Hey, it's Caitlin Moynihan.
Hello.
Are those what are those earrings called? They like chandelier earrings? What are they?
I don't know. I got them in Guatemala, but they remind me of bananas.
Oh, it's a pop of color. I'm into it.
Yes.
It's a pop of color. And hey, Beth, who is today's guest?
Oh, I love this woman. Kathryn Gallagher from Jagged Little Pill.
Yes.
And of course, she was our vlogger, Jagged Little Thrill.
I was going to say she's also of Jagged Little Thrill.
Yeah.
And Spring Awakening and all kinds of things. She's so fantastic. And we're going to get to her. But first, today's top news.
We have officially found out the fate of what's going to happen at City Center for this upcoming season.
Well, that sounded very dramatic. And it feels kind of dramatic in our hearts because the Ashley Park the Thoroughly Modern Millie starring Ashley Park has been canceled. So
wait, they didn't say postponed. They actually said
they said canceled. I'm sure there are other things there. I don't know that maybe at another date, but it was supposed to happen May 6th through the 10th. Mm-hmm. And of course they had also canceled the previously scheduled encore production of Love Life. There she is, the beauty. Yeah. We were so looking forward to this.
It's like a reboot of Thoroughly Modern Millie. Like,
right. Yeah. So we know it's Dick Scanlon and Janine Tesori. We love this show so much. But they brought on Lauren Yee, the playwright who's produced everywhere, to offer some fresh perspective on some of the aspects of the show. And of course, it was directed by Lear DeBessonnet, but not happening.
Okay, Beth.
I'm sorry.
Just bring down the room right at the top of the show.
Yeah, but in good news, we found out that there's going to be a new musical, and we're getting it in podcast form.
Oh, is that what we're doing now, Caitlin? Yes, we are. We are doing a podcast musical. It's called Little Did I Know, and a very talented group of people. So they're releasing an album. The first 3 episodes are coming out. Do I have this right? March 31st, which is tomorrow. First 3 episodes of the podcast, and then the whole album, which is 22 songs. And it features people you love, like Patrick Page of Hadestown, Leslie Margarita, Richard Kind, a lot of fantastic actors. And it's written by Lou Aronica, and music is by Doug Besterman and Marcy Heisler. And now the plot of it sounds really cool. So this is about a group of friends, recent college graduates, who bring a broken down summer theater back to life in 1976. And of course, it's going to be a crazy summer of hijinks. And I'm into it. I mean, we have time, right?
Oh, we have time.
We have time. Let's get into it. A musical podcast. Let's do it.
Yeah, sorry. I'm like coughing. I swallowed water. Weird.
Oh, good. That was good timing.
Do the Dracula.
We're live. I'm doing the vampire cough. But something's coming, and what that is we're getting a first look of the new West Side Story movie.
That's right. We have some pictures. There have been a few out there, but now we get a comprehensive look. Oh, Ariana DeBose. First of all, it's Ansel Elgort and Rachel Zegler. Play, Tony and Maria. We knew that. But to see Ariana DeBose, who's our friend and fellow Broadway person.
And blogger.
A vlogger, a Tony nominee, a two-time blogger. Two-time blogger. Also Tony winner, David Alvarez.
Yes.
Him from Billy Elliot, and All Grown Up is Bernardo. And Rita Moreno in a role that was just created for the film, for this film. So
I thought she was Doc. She's not Doc.
She's Doc's wife.
She's Docky.
She's Doc's wife. They created a place for her. Somewhere, a place for Rita Moreno. Check it out. It gives me a good feeling to have something to look forward to. And that's
like a holiday movie? Yeah.
December. Christmas movie, yeah.
I wonder if In the Heights will come out before or after. Anyway, there's stuff to look forward to. That's trying to say there are things to look forward to.
Yes.
And now we need your help to find Broadway's biggest fan.
Yes. Hey, Beth, who's Broadway's biggest fan?
Well, that's a good question, actually.
We have to find out. So we have this Broadway's biggest fan contest. Now, So the contest was originally to win a trip to New York to come to the Broadway.com Audience Choice Awards. which was supposed to happen in May. We don't really know what's happening yet, but you also get tickets to these great shows. So the contest is still happening. It's just like, the prize might be delayed, but it's still happening. It's still a big thing because we got a lot of entries. So people had to make videos proving why they're Broadway's biggest fan. And then we chose the 10 semifinalists. And if you go on the site, you can watch those videos and choose your favorite. And you have until April 5th. And then we're going to get some Broadway stars and Julie James from SiriusXM, and they're going to pick the winner. And that'll all be announced on April 20th. And then we will finally know, Beth, who Broadway's biggest fan is. We will finally know. It was me in 1990, but I don't know who got it this year.
We weren't allowed to send in videotapes this year.
No, we were not eligible. Kathryn Gallagher is not eligible either. Nope, I know she wants to. Thank you, Beth. Thank you for joining us. Hey, Caitlin, why don't you tell everyone about today's fantastic?
Gladly. Yes, guys, we have Kathryn Gallagher here with us to be the first guest for Live at 5 Home Edition this week, as we're live on both Facebook and YouTube. She is currently, she's Bella in Jagged Little Pill on the Broadway. She made her Broadway debut in Deaf West Spring Awakening. Her screen work includes appearances on You Season 1. Come on, that was amazing. The Flash and Indoor Boys. She has been using this time. She's been releasing new original music. She's been busy. You guys can follow her on social media at Kathryn Gallagher. Leave all of your questions down in the comments below for us to ask later. And please welcome Kathryn and Paul.
Kathryn Gallagher.
Hello.
How you doing?
Hi. I'm as good as I can be. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right. It's good to see a friendly face.
Same. Very
good.
We
don't all get to. I'm sure you've been like FaceTiming with friends, and are you doing Zoom conferences? And
I've been loving House Party. Do you know about?
Oh my! I just found out about it. Well, I'm a little slow because I just found out about Marco Polo, and then sorry, I know I'm old. And Michael James Scott was talking about House Party, and I haven't done it yet.
Let me tell you about this app. The other night with my best friend and her other best friend who I didn't even know. So there's like 8 of us. All of us were kind of just meeting. Spent maybe 4 hours playing Chips and Guac, which is like Cards Against Humanity. I mean, literally, I can't even tell you how much fun it was. It was the most fun I've had socially in all year.
Wow. Okay, I'm gonna do it.
You have to. We'll have
Beth literally just sent me the download link. So we're gonna house party.
It's so fun.
Okay.
It's so fun. Okay.
Hey, fun. So
I know fun. I try to know fun.
So where are you? You're at your family house?
I am. I'm up in Connecticut. I'm in the woods. There are turkeys in the yard.
Nice.
Not currently, but often. And it's not bad. I'm baking cakes. I'm recording music. I'm doing puzzles.
Yeah.
I'm trying to stay sane. Yeah.
It's kind of I have the ability to get out of the city too, and then you talk to people in the city, and then it's that a lot of people are sort of stuck in small apartments, and it's hard. People are really kind of going through it.
I definitely feel very, very lucky. I've lived in this house since I was like 2 years old, so this is the only place in the world I really have any history because we moved around a lot. And so I'm like going through old journals and I'm like having a very nostalgic experience. I ordered a tie-dye kit. Like I'm really thriving.
Yeah. What are you wearing? What's that shirt? Let's show that.
My friend Brian made this for me.
Oh my God. That is so epic. I love that. That is so like classic Broadway t-shirt. Yeah.
Broadway's biggest fan. She's right here.
I'm so sorry. But when you're on Broadway, you're not eligible. I don't know if that's an actual rule, but it should be. It should be. So, Jagged Little Pill, you're so fantastic in the show.
Thank you so much.
You've been apart from it, all that rockin', all that energy. You're sort of in a very much more chill,
very different space.
Very different space. Does that feel weird, or is it? It's gonna be interesting to jump back into that, won't it be?
Yeah, it's really interesting because especially my role in the show, my character goes through a lot.
Yeah.
And so I have to live my life in a very specific, very regimented way to kind of stay, I guess, like stable.
Sure.
So I don't go out. I eat really healthy food. I don't have much sugar. Like anything that could potentially put my emotions off balance, I avoid. And so it's been very, very interesting having sort of all day to kind of, I'm a songwriter. And so I've been going through my journals for all of these like song ideas that I never had time to write. And so I've been sort of really taking advantage of this time to like process things that I didn't really have space for when we were doing the show. And I'm really trying to do as many things that I don't get to do while I'm doing the show, so that when we get back, I'm just ready and excited and like rejuvenated.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was a true like night and day 180 within 4 hours.
Right.
And now just getting used to this new normal is very surreal.
So as Caitlin mentioned, season 1 of You was fantastic. That's a great binge for anyone.
Yes.
Looking. I haven't gone through season 2 because you're not in it, right?
I'm not in it.
So I was done. I was like, no, I'm looking for Kathryn Gallagher. I'm here for
that. Is true loyalty. Thank you so much.
But season 1 was fantastic. I'm sure season 2 is great too. But that's a great bingey show.
It is.
And you can see this one, and it's crazy. Yeah,
it is
fun.
Wild.
What are your sort of like go-to binge recommendations?
I mean, obviously Tiger King, which feels like everyone's talking about it, so I don't.
Yeah, I finished it over the weekend. I finished it. Yeah.
I mean, I dove in. I also am restarting Smash, which I haven't seen since it aired initially, and I am living the amount of inside jokes. I was like dead.
Yeah,
I was dead. So I'm loving that. And I have a text thread with Andy and Krista, and I'm giving them the play-by-play every time I watch an episode. I'm like sending all of my commentary, whether or not they want it.
That's amazing.
This is the kind of friend I am.
Now, didn't McPhee just say that she's like, didn't she actually say that Ivy would be the better Marilyn? Isn't that what
I don't disagree with.
That's been the most shocking thing to come out of this whole Broadway shutdown so far, actually.
I have mad respect for that. I mean, come on.
So what about like, do you read books or listen to music? What kind of like non-visual? Oh, that's books is visual, but like what other things do you do other than watch TV shows like me?
I do read books. I try and read them more than I do read them. Yeah. Right now I'm reading, I'm a big fan of starting books, and I'm not so good at finishing them.
Yeah, I know that.
So I have like 8 half-read books lying around the house. One of them is Say Nothing, which is about the IRA in Northern Ireland, and it's really fascinating. It's really, really interesting. The second one is Maybe You Should Talk to Someone. That's my dog.
That might happen here too, by the way. So it's fine.
Good.
It's totally fine.
And that has been like the one funny thing about working from home. Hey, Willie! is that I'm like constantly negotiating with dog barks, and he always wins. Consistently wins this battle. And so, but yeah, so I'm reading that, and Maybe You Should Talk to Someone, which is a really, really good book. A therapist wrote it about going to therapy, like about her experience going to therapy. So it's very interesting. I love a self-help book. I love anything about psychology. Music, I listen to a lot of Rabel. I listen to a lot of Dixie Chicks, Taylor Swift, Phoebe Bridgers, anything that's like deeply emotional and honest and story driven, and a lot of. Oh, and I binged all of Fosse Verdon, which is on Hulu now.
Wait, what is?
Fosse Verdon is on Hulu now.
Oh, it is. I didn't know that. Oh, I didn't know that.
I haven't seen it. I was weeping.
Okay.
It's very exciting.
Because you're a real Broadway fangirl. You kind of like, aren't you? You're like, that's a pretty legitimate way to describe you, right? Like you really started. So talk about your dad, Peter Gallagher. First of all, I've never really asked you this. What is it like to have your dad be a sex symbol?
It's very funny because one, it's a huge compliment because it's genetic.
Yeah, you got good genes. Yeah, it worked out well. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I know it is funny because, and a lot of it is comes in the form of my friends' moms. Like it's not usually.
Yeah, I know. It's like of a certain age.
So like it would be really disturbing if it was my friends, but since it's their moms, it's just kind of funny. Like I have a lot of sort of older women that tell me they had his photo on their wall. Yeah. Which I find hilarious. Also, because once you've met my dad, who's like, and I love him, and also I think he's watching with my mom right now. And so once you've met him, you learn that he's like the biggest nerd. Like he's such a goof, and so there's nothing about his personality that is like anything that embodies any like heartthrob or anything in the best way. He's like a nerd. He's a goof, and he's a Broadway geek, you know, like, so it is definitely, it's funny. It's just so funny.
Which of his movies do you love the most?
Well, when I was a really little kid, I used to watch the song Baby, which I think is from The Idolmaker.
Oh, yeah.
It is, right? So I would watch that one performance, that one song on repeat when he was out of town because I missed him. And so my mom would just put it on for me on but so beyond that, I mean, there's a lot of stuff I haven't seen, and I don't want to you know.
You don't want to go through the IMDb.
See American Beauty, you know, because that one has some scenes.
You know which one I loved? This is the deep cut. I hope your dad's watching. This is the deep cut. To Jillian on her 37th birthday.
You know what? I've been wearing his sweatshirt around the house that is from that. So I haven't seen the movie, but I have been wearing that sweatshirt.
I love that. But the reason why I brought your dad up, other than I really like him, is that he was on Broadway, right, when you were a kid. So you that sort of, I'm assuming that sort of got you backstage and in it.
Big time. It's funny because Josh, who is Patti LuPone's son, Patty lives near us too, so we sort of all grew up playing together. We were both, I guess, 7 or 8 maybe when they were doing Noises Off on Broadway. And so we would like run around the Brooks Atkinson like it was a playground. Like we had like, you know, and we got to know all of the crew and the doorman. And then that was where I made my Broadway debut. So it was
amazing.
So it was really, it's like, I think for me, it's just, it feels like a normal job. Like I don't understand going into an office every day. I've never really seen that. I've never had an example of, you know, waking up in the morning and going into the office at 9 unless you're going to rehearsal in your, you know, track pants. And so it's very funny because it's just like, I think it normalizes this entire industry in a way that is really helpful to sort of demystify it. And when you can think about what you're doing is just, you know, going to work and showing up and having respect and learning people's names, it really kind of helps ground me, at least. I don't know. I can't speak for anyone else.
Right. So what's your 10-year goal? What would you love to be doing in 10 years?
Everything. Paul, I want to do everything.
Okay.
There's not enough time. I definitely can't wait to return to Jagged in the short term. Life. I'm always writing songs, and so I really want to release a full-length album. I've been releasing like single by single, and the next one will be coming out very soon. And I'm working on writing a little bit of a musical, which I'm very excited about. Yes.
Interesting.
So I'm very excited about that.
How long have you been working on that?
Well, I've been working with a friend of mine we wrote a short film musical together a little while back, starring Nick Braun, who's amazing. I don't know if you watched Succession. And so that was like a little musical short film. And then since then, that was going to turn into a TV show, but then I got busy filming you and Jagged Little Pill. And so we've been sort of brainstorming on new ideas. And so this partnership has been in the works now for like 6 years. But this idea has been in the works for about a month. So I just wrote the first song for it yesterday. So.
Well, you got time. I expect a full musical. I expect a full musical by the time you're back at the Broadhurst.
There will be one.
I love that.
But and I also I've never done a movie. I really want to do a movie. I'd love to do more television. Of course, I want to do more Broadway. I mean, I'm just like, my whole career has been very much, it feels like sort of predestined. Like every time I've made a plan, the world has been like, no, just kidding. You're going to go do this. And it's turned out to be exactly where I want to be. And so I'm just trying to go wherever inspiration strikes and continue to work hard and be nice to people. That's just all that's sort of my goal.
You're good at the being nice to people. I've always liked you from the minute I met you. You're a good person. Your parents raised you well.
Thank you so much.
Did you do any classic musical roles in school or in camp or anywhere what?
Okay, so I started when I first moved to LA because there were no real, when I was growing up in New York, there was no real after school theater because a lot of the kids just went professional. And so when I went to LA was when I started doing like, you know, after school theater and you know, on Saturdays and Sundays. And so that was when I played Cornelia Collins in Hairspray at 11. Yes, Cornelia Collins.
I never heard of her before. I love it.
Yes, neither had I. Classic Broadway role. And then when I was 13, I played Mama Rose. And that was when I was like, I must do this.
Wait. Do mom and dad have a tape of this?
I mean, they must. I know one exists and I found one, but it didn't have sound. And I know that there was a moment in our dress rehearsal where I was like, I forget. I must have been singing Rose's Turn. It was like the last note. And I got so excited that I jumped up 3 octaves, which I...
Wow.
Which I only know because my teacher, I was so embarrassed. She was like, right note, 3 octaves too high. And I was like, oh. I doubt it was actually 3 now that I'm thinking about it because I don't know how I would have done that. But it was definitely like, it was a humbling moment. Ben and I were Baker and Baker's wife when we were 14. Nice. Then I got to do Tracy Turnblad, of course, with Ben as my link. We did City of Angels. We did Pippin. We did... Chicago, Velma, which I just posted the other day because I found a clip of it and I was like, oh,
yeah. I mean, I love. Would you love to do something really classic on Broadway?
Yes.
You're in this rock and roll girl track now, but
I know which I love because you know, I play guitar and I love rock music.
Yeah, you can do it. Yeah.
But like watching Fosse Verdon, I was like, I want to do a Fosse musical. I want to do a Fosse moment. I want to do anything like. I really do. And I work with my vocal coach. I don't know if you know Joan Lader.
Of course. Legend.
She's the best. And so
Patti LuPone, man. If you work with Patti LuPone, you're in.
I mean, no. But I like every time I'm with her, she's always like, okay, we're working on something classical. We gotta, you know, make sure you keep those chops up because it's just such a different muscle. So I would love to do something classical.
Awesome. I can't wait to see what you have up your sleeve. Up your tie. Hey, Caitlin, I'm gonna bring Caitlin back in. Hi.
Yes. Hello.
Caitlin, what are the fans? What are the fans at?
Yes. All right. So we have a lot of questions about this. I'm gonna put Brittany's up. Brittany on Facebook wants to know, what is your favorite backstage moment with Mr. Derek Klena? Because we all saw
the You are friends with Derek Klena. I mean, how can you not?
There's too many.
Really?
So Derek and I go by Pebs and Bam. I'm Bam Bam. He's Pebbles, obviously. And so we basically we're very similar. And we're both very goofy. And we both have to have really serious moments together in the show. So we have pretty strict rules about when we can and cannot goof off. Like there's specific time constraints. And so I think my favorite moments of goofing off are one time he scared me so bad and I fell to the ground. One time he scared me with a snowball in his hand 3 times within one show, which was very impressive. We have the Clay Aiken song Invisible that we really like to sing a lot. Do you know that one?
Which one?
Invisible.
What is that? Oh, from the Patti LuPone Invisible song?
No. Clay Aiken's #1 hit.
Go ahead, sing it.
Okay.
Wait, I'm looking at Caitlin's reaction. She's
I love Clay Aiken.
Okay.
So it's like the chorus is like, if I was invisible, I would just watch you in your room. That's a lyric. It's like it's the most creepy song you've ever seen. Like It's so good. So we sing that a lot. We've done dramatic readings. We have choreo. A lot of that stuff.
Wow. That's amazing. I love it. You know, for Caitlin, when she started working at Broadway.com, she never knew that she would get the opportunity to actually meet Clay, because when they came and did their Christmas show last year, and she got the photos.
Lost my mind.
Yeah, she got to have a whole.
He's a politician now, right?
In North Carolina.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
Not me.
Not me. I'm happy for him.
Yeah, no, me too. He sounds great. The show was a hit. I'm waiting for the 2nd annual run.
Yeah, I'm ready.
I'm ready.
If he needs me and Derek to do background dancing when he performs Invisible, we're available.
Amazing. That's a good offer. That's an offer. I like that. What else?
Huge offer.
Amazing. All right, this next question is from Facebook. Kathy Poor says, what has the role of Bella taught you that you are maybe using now?
Ooh, wow. Okay. Well, Bella has taught me everything about what it means to be brave, what it means to be honest, what it means to, you know, she stands up and she tells her story and her truth in the face of her entire community that doesn't believe her, that calls her terrible names, that entirely shames her and dishonors her and her family. And she has to sort of be the only one who believes in herself when everyone else doesn't. And so I think being able to live in that space that entirely proves how your vulnerability can be your biggest strength is just it's like everlasting lessons in that every single night. It's really a powerful place to go every night.
Yeah, it's heavy. You're doing some heavy lifting in that show. Yeah.
Totally.
Yes.
So Marissa on YouTube wants to know, what's your favorite thing to bake, Kathryn Gallagher?
Oh. Well, I do love to bake. That is a thing about me that's very true. So far, since I've been up here, yesterday I made a cauliflower pizza, which I thought was amazing. I'm vegan, so I have everything I make is pretty much vegan. I love to make cakes. I made a strawberry buttercream, fake buttercream cake. I made blueberry scones. I made challah. I made anything. I like to make any cakes are maybe my favorite.
Wow. I'm gonna send you my address in case
100%,
you want to go to the mailbox. Anyway.
Amazing. All right. And we can do one last question, I think. And so Bob Wiki on YouTube says, Sutton Foster's hidden talent is she can touch her nose with her tongue. Can you do it? / what is your secret talent?
I don't think I can. I feel like I have a short tongue.
Yeah.
I can't.
You can't. So what can you do? What can you do? She can write songs. That's a talent. That's not a secret. What are your secret talents?
I don't really have like hidden talents.
Can I just say, by the way, making a homemade cauliflower pizza is a secret talent. I mean, I buy the frozen ones, but you actually can make one? That's amazing. Okay.
It's really, it was a trial and error situation. You really have to dry the cauliflower after you've steamed it. Otherwise it's too wet.
Got it. Okay.
Big tip. So I think, I was never good at things like fun party tricks. I'm bad at. I'm not very good at games. If it involves competition, I crumble. Basically, so my hidden talents are probably like, I don't know. I used to in elementary school. I used to brag by like being able to be the only girl that would dig up the earthworms when we went fishing at summer camp. Is that a talent?
Sure. I don't want to do it.
I always knew where the most earthworms were.
That's weird. Okay.
I don't know. I don't know if that's a talent.
That's weird. I'm into it. Whatever.
That was like the first thing that came to my mind was the amount of earthworms I could find when I was a kid. So
yeah. I'm gonna pop Beth back in to say goodbye. We're all here, the Brady Bunch. Kathryn, we adore you. Thank you for joining us.
I adore you. Thanks
fun.
for having me. This is so fun.
Of course. Always.
It was like you were on the puff, but not.
Honestly, I know I do miss the puff. I miss the puff. I miss the vlog.
Yeah.
Well, when we go back, I think you need to give us an extra episode. Just put it out there.
Start plotting
100%.
it. But write that musical. I want to know more about that.
I know. I'll give you the tea off camera.
Wait a minute. Is it based on To Jillian on her 37th birthday?
Yes, it's To Jillian on her 38th birthday.
Okay. I'm going to thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. I love you all.
Caitlin you stay here so we can say goodbye to you, Kathryn. But Caitlin, why don't you tell
Yep. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today as we continue our Live at 5 home edition, both live on Facebook and YouTube. You guys can follow along with the hashtag Live at 5 to stay up to date on everything that we're doing while we're all here. And make sure you guys tune in tomorrow when we continue our vlogger streak when we have Yas Queen herself, Abby Mueller, up 6.